Raw just finished up, and man, what a banger! It went out on a high note. You have, for anybody that hasn't watched Raw yet, the night after WrestleMania, turn this video off right now. I'll give you a second. I'm just not trying to give no spoilers to anybody that hasn't watched Raw, but you had your moment to turn this video off. Dude, that is insane to think that Paul Heyman put together Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker as a clique, as a group. That took me back to the Degeneration X days when the New Age Outlaws formed DX with X-Pac and Triple H after Shawn Michaels, because everybody was like, oh, Triple H is just there. He was always the sidekick, and next thing you know, Degeneration X just took off after Shawn Michaels left after he lost the title to Austin at WrestleMania 14. And yeah, what a huge shocker. That was a thrilling ending. Like, I was thinking, like, after that Intercontinental title match with Penta and Dominic, I knew that that Dominic wasn't gonna lose. There's no way that they're gonna just put the title on him and then make him lose it the very next night. Penta doesn't need the title for that huge crowd pop. He's already a fan favorite. But putting the title on him would only do damages to Dominic Mysterio. And from the way it's looking, the way the puzzle's starting to form and everything, is that Finn Balor's gonna end up being so jealous of Dominic Mysterio that he's gonna start. He might cost Dominic the title within the next pay-per-view PLE. But we'll see how that plays out. But I definitely see that Dominic Mysterio holding that Intercontinental title is going to affect Finn Balor going forward, and that rivalry is going to ramp up pretty soon going into SummerSlam. But yeah, I can't get away from the whole entire Braun Breaker, Seth Rollins, and Paul Heyman. You like click what, like, how do you, like, I was just sitting there just thinking to myself, I was like, what in the hell? Like, it doesn't seem right. Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman. I was just sitting there just thinking the entire day after WrestleMania night one, when I was like, it just doesn't feel right. It feels like it's just like, it's because Seth Rollins is already really good on the mic. He's a really good wrestler. He doesn't need a spokesman like Paul Heyman, the way that Brock Lesnar needed him, the way that Roman Reigns needed him, until Roman Reigns found his gear and took off on the mic. Because we all know Roman Reigns is a really a top-notch performer, and then having him with Paul Heyman is just a perfect click. But I've heard, I'm pretty sure like everybody else has heard, behind the scenes, Paul Heyman has been working real tight and real close with Braun Breaker, and now they just made it public. It was just amazing to see. I was just like, I thought it was gonna end with Roman Reigns giving Paul Heyman the Superman punch like how he did, or a spear. I'm not sure. They could have finished off Raw either way, and they could have just left Roman Reigns like in the middle of the ring looking around or whatever, like they traditionally do. But with this dude Braun Breaker coming from out of nowhere, it was awesome. And I will criticize when it deserves to get criticized. I'm not going to be like everybody else and criticize it just because. But when WWE needs criticism, I will be the first one to give it to it for all the right reasons. But Raw after WrestleMania, this has been the best one in years. We had Stephanie Vakir versus Io. That was a top-notch match. We had Jey Uso and Sami Zayn and Jimmy Uso all just celebrating the championship that Jey Uso had just won night one of WrestleMania 41. Becky Lynch, Jey Uso, like, it's looking really good. That title is looking really good on him. That blue plate, his name plate on that title, is looking really good on him. Like, you could tell he's starting to really mold into an actual champion. Like, he's gonna be good. He's gonna be a really good champion. Just I'm amazed with Jey Uso as he was talking and coming out in the crowd and all that. I was just sitting there thinking to myself, I was like, man, what an amazing story. I know it's scripted and all. We all know wrestling is scripted, but you can relate to something like that. It's almost like when you're going to work and you start off as a new guy, and then you're at the top of the food chain, as they say. You're like the top dog. You've outlasted everybody that's quit before you, and you're just a man. you're the man in charge, and now it's Jey Uso's time to be the main event. Like his name says, he's main event Jey Uso. But if you look at if you watch when Jey Uso and Sami Zayn were in the ring alone, Sami Zayn, when he was standing behind Jey Uso, had this stale look on his face, and it looked like he was looking dead at Jey Uso, and he didn't look. He was emotionless. I was like, he's gonna give him that his finisher, the haluva kick. I think that's what it's called. I thought that's what was coming, and Jim Uso came out at the right second, right time, perfect timing. But I think Sami Zayn might turn heel, and he might turn on Jey Uso. That might be brewing. That might be in the works. I thought Drew McIntyre was going to come out and attack Jey Uso to set that rivalry up. Because Drew McIntyre had tweeted within the last day or two, he said Jey Uso he's been yeeting for about 2 hours straight, nonstop. So that, okay, so that's like kind of like a hanging fruit that everybody's gonna just gravitate to. Like that's the next rivalry for the championship on Raw, Jey Uso versus Drew McIntyre. And then you got I got so much on my mind right now. Then you got Gunther attacking the commentators. I saw on Twitter that somebody said this might be a way for the WWE to write off Pat McAfee for a while, for the foreseeable future. There's some truth to that, because Pat McAfee will disappear for a good amount of time, but right now it doesn't make any sense because, well, with the NFL draft coming up, I think that could be the reason, because he's a huge part of the NFL world. Obviously, he was a former punter for the Colts, and he's on ESPN's countdown shows and all that. So I think he's going to be out until the NFL draft wraps up. So if he comes back after the NFL draft, we know why this happened for Gunther and Michael Cole. And Tessitore is a pretty good commentator, so let's not lose hope on the Raw commentating crew. What else happened? Let me see what else happened. Chad Gable didn't make an appearance as El Grande Americano. There was a huge moment. There was some huge moments throughout the entire show. The New Day getting attacked by They almost got into a match with those two jabronis. Who are they? Tozawa and Otis. Maxine doing the commentating. She's talking on the mic for those two bums. And then the guy that's been missing for like 5 years, I think they said Rosev, I think his name is. I wasn't watching wrestling back then because it was still John Cena taking over, and I can't stand to do John Cena. He's the reason he ran me out of wrestling for like a good 15 years. I stopped watching wrestling in like 2002, 2003. But he opened up the show. And I'm looking at the show, I'm looking at his entrance, and because they're in Las Vegas, black and white, black and silver, he's doing the Las Vegas Raiders theme for his entrance theme. No pun intended. But yeah, Becky Lynch turning heel on Lyra Valkyria. That made sense at first when they won the titles. I was like, oh, okay. They're setting up a nice title run for Lyra Valkyria and Becky Lynch from Ireland. They're both from Ireland, so it'll be nice to have two females being tag team champions. For a while for a title run, and like that, Lyra could be side by side with Becky Lynch, and she could learn a lot more. She's already really good. She could just elevate even more by being next to Becky Lynch, who's been there for a while now. But two things that happened with that match, with the women's tag team title match, is Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, 4-time champions. So to me, it looks like they're going to start pushing them to go for some record. I'm not sure what the all-time record is for female tag team champs. I don't know. I honestly don't know. If I was to tell you a number, I'd be making it up. But I think that's where they're aiming with Liv and Raquel. And they both need each other because Raquel by herself just does not work. So it makes sense to make them tag team champions. She gets the same pop that Liv does. So it makes perfect sense. I'm not a fan of neither one of them, but I see what WWE is doing. And then the other thing that happened in that tag team match is Becky versus Lyra, Intercontinental title. We all know that Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, and Rhea Ripley, they all get instant title. They're instant title contenders almost instantly when they come back from injury. So more than likely, Becky Lynch is gonna win and beat Lyra. They'll probably have like the best of three or something like that. Because I can't see anybody else coming up in the scenes challenging Lyra Valkyria for the Intercontinental title. It makes perfect sense for Becky because they're both from Ireland, and I've always wondered what that match would look like. So Roman Reigns coming out of nowhere on Raw, I thought that was pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I was bummed out when Roman Reigns got speared by Braun Breaker. Like, I hate seeing Roman Reigns go through that, especially with him talking about retiring in the year 2027, which is like a year and a half away. And, you know, he's the reason why I came back and watched wrestling basically full time. So I hope Roman Reigns can put together a nice little click. I think Roman Reigns is gonna he's gonna put his bias aside. He's gonna put his ego aside for the first time in his career, and he's gonna join with CM Punk. I think that's gonna surprise a lot of people. But I see that there's gonna be a third member. I wonder who they're gonna bring in. But CM Punk and Roman Reigns to take on Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins at Backlash is gonna be a fun one. It's gonna be a thriller. Sheamus. The only reason I'm bringing him up to wrap this video up is because I wanted to say banger. That match between Roman, CM Punk versus Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins, that's going to be a banger. But Sheamus, I want to know what's going on with Sheamus, man. Ilya Dragunov, I heard that he's dealing with the injury. And then who's the other one? Shinsuke Nakamura. I keep hoping that the WWE somehow hears my voice and they put it all together. Shinsuke Nakamura and Ilya Dragunov, and that would be a nice tag team combo right there, a nice little pairing right there. Both internationals, and they can go on a global tour together, and they can. I think they would mesh really, really well, Ilya and Shinsuke. But we'll see. We'll see. What do I know? I'm just your typical fan on the couch. Raw just wrapped up, and yeah, man, those are my 2 cents. And if you watched this video for its entirety, then you obviously like my 2 cents. So please subscribe to the channel, hit like and subscribe. And one huge favor. I'm gonna drop his link. His channel link in the comments. I want you guys to go subscribe to his channel. Please do me that favor. He's a huge wrestling fan. He's a real cool individual, and I'm gonna pin his channel link. Go subscribe to his channel, and comment that you subscribed on this on the link. Please do me a favor. The guy is genuine. He's nice, and I hope you're watching, Derek. I hope you're watching. But as you say, as my good friend right here on YouTube says, peace, love, and wrestling. Thank you for watching.